Good morning, everybody. We got news. Yesterday, Subways broke a record. $4.5 million. So let me say it again. Yesterday, we had record ridership on the New York City subway system, 4.5 million people. And you know what? 65% of them used Omni, tap and go. So when this team came together in the wake of COVID, we said, number one goal, get the riders back on. We were going to do it by providing great service, and we have done that. And we're going to give them the best possible deal, and the way to do that is with Omni. So this is all coming together. People are using Omni, and they're riding more and more. I'm Jano Lieber, the MTA Chair and CEO. I'm here with Chief Customer Officer Shanifa Riera, President of New York City Transit, Demetrius Critchlow, President of MTA Construction and Development, Jamie Torres Springer, and we're joined by key folks in the Omni team, Michael Linus. I'm looking behind for Jesse Cohen, Rachel Cohen, Jesse Lazarus, but main point is folks in the Omni team are here because they're the stars of the show today. Thanks for being here. We're here to celebrate, in addition to record ridership, another specific milestone, which is the progress in the advent of the Omni fare payment system. Earlier this year, I made a commitment that by the end of 2024, we were going to make Omni available to all of our major customer groups. And that started this summer when we launched the Student Omni card, which has been a huge success. More than 340,000 students use their Omni card every week, which is a huge jump over last year when the kids were still relying on the old bus passes and Metro cards. And every week, student ridership is up 35 to 45% versus 2023. So huge jumps as a result of the very successful Student Omni card program. Now we're here to announce the next giant step, and it is big, making tap and go available to our 1.5 million reduced fare customers. Those are principally seniors, folks over 65, and people with medical disabilities. It is the largest single group that has not been truly on the Omni system up to now. And we've crossed that bridge now with the reduced fare customers. This isn't just an announcement. The enrollees are already getting cards in the mail. Those cards have gone out. I think we're doing 50,000 plus a week. Yes. And behind me in the MTA Customer Service Center here on Stone Street, people are walking up, showing their driver's license or something which shows their age, and they are qualifying for Omni and being given an Omni reduced fare card on the spot. So we've had already 30, 40, 50 people just in a couple days come in and get them here, but more important, thousands are getting them in the mail. New Yorkers love Omni. They love how it makes paying the fare so easy. They love how Omni makes sure you get the best bang for the buck. You don't have to pick, am I going to pay $100+ for a monthly? Am I going to pay $30+ for a weekly? Just tap and go, and the system will give you the best deal. Now, as I said, yesterday, 65% of all subway customers use tap to pay, use tap and go, the Omni system. Among the full fare riders, that number is north of 80%. 80% of regular fare are using Omni, and we've seen over 2 billion taps to date in Omni. That is billion with a B. And the number is only going to grow now that we have our 1.5 million reduced fare customers moving on to Omni. As I said, we promised by the end of this year to get every category of customers onto Omni. Reduced fare is the biggest, but we're making progress in the other remaining categories. There are a couple of them as well. Pre-tax commuter benefits. Those are folks who get that federally recognized pre-tax money for commutation, for transit and otherwise, are already starting to move onto OMNY, led by roughly 100,000 New York City government employees who are already getting those pre-tax commuter benefit cards, debit cards in the mail, which are tap and go usable for OMNY. And we're already moving forward with the Fair Fares implementation and with paratransit customers not far behind. It's something that Shanifa has been driving very hard and very effectively. So I just want to end by shouting out to the team who got us to this point. The reduced fare OMNY issue was complicated, software and otherwise, and it took a lot of work. Jesse Lazarus, who's I don't think behind me, but has done a ton of work. Amy Linden, who's been on OMNY since day one. Michael Linus, Maria Canizaro, Tim Kaiser, Jordan Alexander, Lee Roisman, Suhail Mercado, Karen Kunak. These are people who labor in the trenches every day to just make sure New Yorkers are all going to be on OMNY as quickly as possible. So I just want to acknowledge that. I want to acknowledge Jamie. C&D took over this project to run it as a mega project and has been very successful. Transit, Shanifa, the customer service team, this is a great operation. So let me turn it over to Shanifa, who has, as I said, been one of the principal leaders on this. And final message, go OMNY. Everybody's got it available.
Thanks, Jano. I'm so gratified to see New Yorkers embracing OMNY. I am thrilled that reduced fare customers everywhere will now have the ability and the simplicity of tapping and going. This technology is going to make life a tiny bit easier, but we'll take it. Customers 65 years or older are now enrolled in reduced fare and will receive and have begun receiving their OMNY card. As the chair mentioned, customers showing up here at 3 Stone Street have the ability to walk out with an OMNY card the same day. And eventually they will have this opportunity as well extended to them at all of our customer service centers throughout the city, as well as our mobile vans. We are working to keep our customers informed by hosting a webinar on December 20th where people can come and sign up and learn more information of how to use the OMNY card. So for those who are interested in participating and want to learn more, visit the MTA website. Customers and stakeholders also have the ability to sign up for a newsletter, where they can stay informed with the latest information, including details of various outreach events that we will do in the system, as well as, at senior centers and other locations where this community is tend to socialize and be. We want to make this transition as seamless as possible. Contactless payment is the way to go of the future, and we are proud that this is happening for all New Yorkers. And with that, I'll turn it over to Demetrius.
So genuinely, extremely happy to be here. Today's the day that 1.5 million reduced fare customers have been waiting for. It's time to tap and go. That's what we're here for, to celebrate this moment. To me, this is more about adding connectivity, making sure that we are granting people access to our system. And we talk about access whenever we talk about a new elevator, but you can't talk about accessibility and access without talking about fare and OMNY. These new cards bring the same benefits of a reduced fare Metro card, and you can still fill it with cash at our hundreds of vending machines now installed system-wide. I think what's key element is our chairman talked a little bit about what we've done to make sure that we're prepared for you. We have our customer service agents out in the field ready to answer any questions that you have. We touch base with all of our folks and giving them training on how to provide customer service to our customers. One of the other elements that we've done, the amazing revenue team has continually stepped up to support Jamie's team as we rolled out this new initiative. The revenue team isn't one that customers see in their daily commute, but they do a fantastic job behind the scenes, supporting millions of customers as they refill their cards, tap their devices, or purchase new fares. Our customers rely on revenue control to make sure that their transactions are smooth and secure, and our system relies on them to safely deliver the fare revenues that we invest in our system. So we're happy and we're ready to see more customers come to the system. And as our chairman said, having ridership gains like we're having, we're just looking forward to the next milestone in providing for it. Thank you all.
Okay. So,
All right, questions. Let's start on topic with Andrew Siff of WNBC. Andrew.
I'm just wondering, with regard to the phase out of the MetroCard as you try to get more people onto Omni here. I was there the first day in 2019 when you started Omni. So we're 5.5 years later and you're at 65%. Is that where you thought you'd be, or would you acknowledge this is a slower rollout than you had hoped for?
no, honest, Andrew, that between the 5 years that you talked about, something happened. It was called the COVID pandemic, and made it a little hard to both get all the work done with software engineers who were not working in their offices and not moving it forward, and also at that time to like try to roll out something that was really radically different as we were trying to bring people back to the system that they had left. So I don't buy the idea that this was a slow rollout. What it has been is since we got, this team took control of the Omni project, we've been knocking it out pretty fast, and New Yorkers are embracing it. I'm thrilled with the progress that we've made, and you see it every day. You just stand at a fare array at a set of turnstiles and watch how many people use their phones, how many people are using the Omni card. It's great.
But just as a quick follow-up, is there an acknowledgement that the barrier, like you're talking about physical cards today, physical Omni cards that provide that discount and the transition to tap and go. Early on in the system, you talked about you can just use your phone, you can just use a contactless credit card. Is there an acknowledgement that there's a part of New York that's sort of not at that point yet, that there's been slow uptake in some neighborhoods?
Yeah, I think, listen, a lot of it is that just what we're here to celebrate, which is for some categories of customers, they haven't really had the ability to use the Omni system, and that's what we're knocking out now in 2024, as I promised, as we all committed to. We're getting 1.5 million customers onto Omni. It's a population which, technology transitions for especially our older New Yorkers can be complicated. This is so easy. You just, instead of having to swipe a card, all you do is you take it and you tap. Everybody's getting it, and everyone's going to get it in the mail. This is a great, I think, milestone for New Yorkers in general.
And just a note, he's working with the photographer Mike Del Giudice today. 309 Emmys. You're going to look amazing. So we go to Evan Simcoe Benarski of the New York Daily News.
Hey, Jenna. So I wanted to ask about, given that there are categories of folks who are going to be relying on a physical card for a little while, can you talk a little bit about the rollout of the vending machines? I know one of my 2 local stations got a vending machine in the past month, which is great. Where are we at on that, and when can we expect to see those system-wide?
Jim.
Yeah. So, and again, we put this in context that we took a big step back. We got a lot of progress made on Omni in 2019, 2020, and then honestly stalled because of some of the issues with how it was being managed. We pulled it apart, put it back together, and I just want to be clear, we're following very systematically a course of action that we laid out. We briefed our board on. Reduced fare implementation, as the chair said, is a very big deal. It's 1.5 million of our customers. So you think about that 65% using it on the subways. What's that going to get to when you add 1.5 million reduced fare customers? Another part of that very systematic rollout is those card vending machines for those that need to get an Omni card. We have about 400 in the system, confirm the exact number. They've been rolling out step by step and working through some of the kinks. They've been operational and accessible, and we expect by the middle of next year we'll have the card vending machines fully rolled out in the system.
All right, let's go to Newton Jones. Burkett III, you have an on topic, sir, from
I do,
Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
And also from the WBGO Board of Trustees, Newton Jones Burkett.
So you're a listener.
Are
you a member?
Not only that, but I heard him chortling about 70s soul, an unlikely combination, Newton Jones Burkett and 70s soul.
Yes,
but go ahead.
But he grew up in Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Okay, go ahead.
You can take the guy out of Elizabeth. You cannot take the Elizabeth out of the guy. By the way,
Never been said before, but go ahead. Yeah.
by the way, I do like the tap and go system, but my Amex bill is now 6 pages long. I mean, think about that. You probably haven't thought about that.
No, I have, and as much as we enjoy catering to every whim of the beat press, I would say that more of our customers are concerned about being able to see when they're charged. So they like the fact that they specifically see every charge on their credit card bill, and when they don't, they tend to write in and complain even more than the beat press.
But to ask another question that might be equally silly, it seems that there are some people, I don't know who they are, but I'm told that there are some people that are nostalgic about phasing out of the Metro card,
Yeah.
that somehow that's become a commodity and people sort of collect them and they're sad to see it go.
Yeah.
Do you compare that to the similar nostalgia people felt about phasing out of tokens?
Yeah,
You and I are both old enough to remember tokens.
Yeah, no, we are, especially you. But it's all right. It's cold today, and Newton Jones Burkett takes the ferry, so any shortcomings in his logic, I'll attribute to that. Listen, we have a warehouse full of tokens, and the people buy them to create. Nostalgia is just part of our culture, right? My son, when we talk about Omni, once said to me, "You can't get rid of the Metro card. It's iconic," and the token was iconic. The Metro card is iconic. The Model T was iconic as well. So there'll always be a subculture of folks who are enthusiastic about, for good reasons, nostalgia and history. And we're going to make, spare Metro cards available for artworks, as they're already frequently used for. But more than nostalgia, the time savings, the efficiency, and most important, the ability to get the best deal that Omni delivers is really going to outweigh any nostalgia value.
All right, Samantha Liebman's right there from New York 1, everybody. Sam.
Good morning. I have two questions. One is, this is just for seniors, not fair fares, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's seniors and people with medical disabilities who qualify for reduced fare.
Okay. The other thing
The
is...
Fair Fares is in pilot. We're piloting the Fair Fares program right now, actually.
Okay. When I see a lot of lines still for Metro card machines when the Omni card machine lines there's no line. How are you trying to change that so people say, well, maybe I should instead get the Omni card, or, people don't know better that that's an option as well. And also, do you have a timeline yet for phasing out the Metro card at all?
So one of the reasons you see that difference between the Metro card requires the physical card. The difference is the overwhelming majority of Omni users are tapping and going with fair pay media they have in their pocket, either a tap and go credit card or Apple Pay or Google Pay or something that's on their phone. So that's why you don't see as many people standing at the Omni machine. The Omni cards are principally for folks like reduced fare customers and the relatively smaller number of people who are unbanked, who don't have a tap and go credit card or don't put it on their phone. Tourists, you're absolutely right. So you and I probably both, because I know how supportive you are of everything we do, Sam, go and when you see a line at the Metro card machine, you walk up and you say, hey, just use your tap and go credit card. And usually if it's tourists, as it is like in the downtown neighborhood around here, all of a sudden that line gets a lot smaller quickly. We have, and Shanifa can talk about it, we have instructed our station agents to go and do that work a lot as well. Shanifa.
So that is something that we are seeing, and we are have put up new customer messaging around the fare array, letting people know skip the line, tap and enter and use your, credit card, debit card. And we're also working with this New York City Transit and their station agents when they see lines to go over and engage and encourage customers to get off the lines from the machines and tapping and entering. So that you will see more of that in the coming months.
All right, we got time for the off chance somebody's got an off topic. We'll take that. Evan seems to have an off topic from the Daily News.
Hey, Jenno. Want to ask about the State Street substation and where the damage assessment is at. Do we know at this point what it is that was damaged? Are we talking about a transformer? Are we talking about breakers? And my understanding is that depending on what that is, we could be talking weeks, we could be talking months, we could be talking years in terms of a replacement. It's a CBTC line, there's redundancies, but it's important to have, good current there.
Yeah.
Where are we at now?
Do you want to do that? And Jamie, you can probably say.
So up until late or early this morning, somewhere around 1 o'clock this morning, the team had been waiting for the air to clear. Following the fire, we had to wait for an assessment of the air quality to be done. And then the teams could go in there and start do a formal assessment and then to do repairs. So we've already started engaged with Con Edison. Both the teams are going in today, this morning, to start doing a formal assessment of what needs to happen going forward. But I can tell you that this is a priority for us, trying to make sure that we can sustain the today. And again, we talked about tomorrow is still tied to the capital program and our ability to be able to deliver a great capital program for the future.
Jamie, you want to talk about that?
I'll just say that as you're exhibiting your knowledge of our substations, Evan, but the failure of one substation means that we have redundancy, so we're able to power the system through adjacent substations, but those substations are substantially in a state of disrepair, as we've pointed out. So it can, it's a risky thing. It can only handle that additional load for so long, and that's why we're effectuating the repairs as quickly as possible, and most importantly, why we have a $4 billion investment in power across the MTA, $3 billion of which is for those substations in the subway system in the upcoming 5-year capital plan.
Any different off topics before we go? All right, Andrew has a different off topic.
It's a follow-up to what Jamie was just talking about. This is the thing I don't understand. If these substations are so antiquated and such dire need of repair, wouldn't priorities dictate that you make the repairs now and worry about the capital plan later? They seem to be, I'm following up on what you said yesterday, Jana, which was this shows the urgency of the capital plan. But you're not waiting to get the money to make these repairs, correct?
Well, listen, you guys should take it. It's like, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a sort of false distinction there. It's capital work. These are, some of these substations are 100 years old. The majority of components, whether it's a transformer, circuit breaker, those are big elements that sit within those substations. And we do, and the New York City Transit folks are out there. They're amazing. They're repairing things every day to keep things running. What we're talking about is eventually you need to replace those components, and that's capital work, which is what's in our capital plan.
All right, we're good, folks? Great. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.